Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Bain, coming to you live right here, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Hey, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Rubbing and grubbing, rubbing is racing, grubbing is tasting, man. I tell you what, here we are on another Wednesday, man, right here at Coach's. You know how we do it. We're going to go kick it off with the word of the day. Man, I tell you what, last week's word was Chevrolet. I don't know how many times I said it, but if you play along, probably 10 times, somewhere around in there. You got 10 sips or 10 shots or whatever you do. And like I say, this game is always age appropriate. Kids can play along as well. Get soda, get Kool-Aid, whatever it is, man. Get hot up, give your parents hell, man. So as we never do, this week's word of the day, have no idea what it's going to be. Lawrence had never told me, so it's going to show up somewhere right up here. And whenever I say that word, basically you're just going to take a sip of your adult beverage, or if you're under the age of 21, you're going to take a sip of a Coca-Cola energy drink or whatever else it is that you got. So today's word is, don't know. We're going to find out here next week. Should be pretty interesting because we got a lot to talk about tonight. So getting right into it, NASCAR news, man. A lot of news coming out this week in the sport in all kinds of different directions. Silly season's in full swing right here, a little bit over halfway through the regular season of, or halfway through the full season of the 2021 Cup Series. I tell you what, man, it just keeps getting crazy and crazy today. Marks and Boom announced Trackhouse is going to buy out Ganassi's full program, man, there in the Cup Series. Very interesting to see, as we've been saying on the show for quite a few months. It's very interesting to watch, Daniel Suarez and what he does. Because he's been having a lot of great runs, and the equipment that they're bringing in week in and week out from Trackhouse Racing is definitely above my expectation, and I think even above theirs. So to move in and get an organization that's already got some pieces in place now, I think there's going to be a lot of work that's got to be done there. They've got to understand over the next couple of years they've got to put a lot of money into their R&D department and building their own stuff and building their own program and figuring and stuff, engineers from the ground up, man. But love it. I think it's a big move. I mean, that could add a few more cars, obviously, into the sport. Daniel Suarez is going to be interesting to see who his teammate might be or stay. Just going to have to wait and see, man. But I tell you what, that's a huge piece, huge move coming out, this afternoon. So another big piece I saw, man. Todd Gordon getting ready to retire after the end of the season. Tell you what, I think he's a really bright mind as a crew chief. Got Logano a lot of wins, still continues to win. Man, I tell you what, championship crew chief there again with Logano. The guy's been a staple there at Penske for a very long time. Don't know if he's just stepping down off of the pit box or leaving the organization in whole. I would think it would be hard for Roger Penske to let somebody with that bright of a mind go that easily. So we'll have to see, not only what happens with him if he goes further in the organization, or we're going to have to turn around and wait and see if, who's going to fill his shoes. And not only that, are we going to have another shuffle over there at Penske? There's also some other news coming out. Brad Keselowski's pretty much almost finalized, other than an announcement. Going to be moving over to Roush at the end of this season, going over to Roush next year. Co-owner and driver. That can really shake some things up. We all know we got Austin Cindric coming in, which could easily just slide into the 2. But there again, we got the Wood brothers with the 21, Matt Benedetto. I mean, there's just a lot of things that go on. It's kind of like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in NASCAR right now, man. It's just like it all rolls downhill. A lot of things got to happen. A lot of things got to get shaken up. But at the end of the day, man, we're just going to have to wait and see what goes down, man. So, my big thing is, I mean, will Brad Keselowski really make that jump? I mean, he has all but one of his career wins there with Penske, a championship with Penske. I mean, it just all depends. Is this gonna be the end of his tenure there and going and turning a new page and taking it in the future at 38, 39 years old? Or is he gonna stay and kind of blow everybody else's mind about the Roush Fenway stuff? So there again, just got to wait and see. Hey, man, great doubleheader weekend right there at Pocono. Absolutely love it. I think it's a great piece to the NASCAR schedule. I love how they did that. Instead of racing there twice in 5 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it was, now you're turning around, you're running both these races, one Saturday, one Sunday, an Xfinity race, a truck race. I mean, that's got to be an amazing race weekend. You know, Atlanta is great. You got a doubleheader on Saturday and the Cup race on Sunday. And I tell you what, man, at the end of the day, I think that's great. I can only imagine being able to see 2 Cup Series races and the other two series combined, man. I mean, that kind of shit's got to blow your mind, man. And there it is. Boom, swear bucket. As we always do, every time I swear, dollar goes into the bucket, man. Every dollar we raise up here on Rubbin' and Grubbin', and if we raise any on Green White Checkers, all gonna go to help save one of our own, man. I tell you what, like I said, this is the most important part while I'm here. If I say a swear word, obviously I gotta throw a dollar in, man. So, hey, closing it out right there on NASCAR News, we're gonna get into this a little bit more, man. At the end of the day, boom, Alex Bowman and Kyle Busch both bring home a win up there in the Poconos, man. Is it too early to say maybe either of those guys are title contenders, man? Would love to hear your comments on it. If you're watching live or if you watch on the YouTube, man, definitely make sure you just write a comment in there. Give me your feedback on the comments, man. If title contenders are too soon to tell. That's a big thing, man. That being said, we got we got playoffs inching closer, man. The bubble watch is on. We're going to get to that a little bit further on in the show. You got to make sure you keep an eye on that bubble for these playoffs right now, because I'm telling you what, man, at the end of the day, it is getting real and it is pretty close down there. We still got a few races to go before we hit it. A lot of things can happen, man. So, like I say, if this is the first time you guys are tuning in, man, like, share, follow all of our stuff here we do at Rubbin' and Grubbin' and the Coach's Corner Sports Network. So many shows out here. If you stay tuned, man, you'll hear me throw them down right there at the very end. Anything that you want to know about sports, definitely, more than likely, there's a show here that can give you their insight on it. Love the support, but as I always say, man, go like, share, follow all our social media. Check us out on Facebook, the Gram. Man, we got all kinds of stuff going on everywhere, man. Check our YouTube channel out. Subscribe, man. Like I said, the more subscribers, the more people we get it out to. And there again, hopefully the more money we can raise for our local charities and our foundation, man. But thank you guys for your support. So getting right into it. Breakdown of the Poconos, man. We're going to go ahead and talk about race number 1 at Pocono. That was a very exciting race. It's not very often that you see races in that way. If you guys tuned in and watch it, it is very few and far between. It's actually pretty neat. We saw one last year that we kind of didn't talk too much about, and it came to my mind for this when this scenario happened this past Saturday. But, man, back at the Tricky Triangle, as I said, Alex the Showman Bowman sneaks it by his teammate Larson when he had trouble, man, to steal the win. I tell you what, right place, right time for Alex Bowman, man. What a great job of putting himself not only in the position to be there to capitalize on Larson's downfall, but to bring home that win, man, at least to keep it in the Hendrick camp, which I love. But, man, I tell you what, as you hear me talking about, Kyle Larson had it won. Not as a dominating performance as what you're used to seeing out of Kyle Larson that we've seen throughout the year. He led the most laps, obviously, in the race, which, no surprise to anybody, I don't think. But coming into the last turn on the last lap, gets a flat tire, man. Ends up finishing 9th, brought it home 9th. Just absolutely crazy day right there at the finish, allowing Alex Bowman to win. Man, I tell you what, here's the thing that kills me, man. Is there trouble in paradise for Kyle Larson, right? Like, these are the questions you're going to ask after this Pocono 1 race. Even though you watch him and, he sits there and he kills it, getting ready to win, boom, something out of the ordinary happens, something that's out of his control, doesn't win the race. Is the lady luck, is the horseshoe coming out, man? Or at the end of the day, is this just one of those deals that happens, man? We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But there again, like I said, that win streak comes to an end for him, man. That was 4 races in a row if you count the All-Star race, 3-point-paying races. Man, he was going for that 4th race win in a row, 4 consecutive straight wins in the Cup Series, man, to join a very elite list, man. There's only been 8 guys since 1972 that has made this list of 4 consecutive races in a row winning. And there's some pretty big names on here. Obviously, we're going to start the list out with not the first one that did it, but to me, the most important one that did it. That's going to be Mr. Jeff Gordon's on this list. Jimmy Johnson, Cale Yarborough, Darrell Waltrip, Harry Gant, Mark Martin, Bill Elliott, Dale Earnhardt Sr. Those are your guys right there that have won 4 straight races, man. So think about all the other names that aren't on this list right here if you're a NASCAR fan or if you've watched it for years. There are a lot of big driver names that aren't on this list. So that tells you how hard of a feat it is to go out and win 4 Cup Series races in a row, man. So, there it is. that'd be that breakdown right there. You know, Kyle Busch, again, brings it home second right there. As I've been saying, man, he's heating up. He's been on the hot list for a while. We're going to stay tuned, and we're going to get to the who's hot, who's not here in just a little bit. We'll see if he's still on the list, man. But like I said, another great run for him there at Pocono in that first race. Comes home second, man. Top 5, finishing order, man. Alex Bowman brings it home in first. You got second, you got Kyle Busch. Third, you got William Byron. Fourth, you got the 11 car of Denny Hamlin. And fifth, rounding out the top 5 right there in that first Pocono race, you got Ryan Blaney. So you got a good variety of, not only you got Gibbs cars, you got Hendricks cars, man. You also have you know, a Penske car in Ryan Blaney. There's the one I was looking for. Sorry, y'all. You know, so you got those top 3 teams, the top of the class, the A class, if you want to call them. Those are probably about the 3 best teams out there all around car-wise and what they do. So at least you got a good mix of those 5, 3 teams, 5 of those guys being up there for them, man. I tell you what, right into Pocono number 2. As I said, man, is he still hot or is he not, man? Kyle Busch, the Candy Man, brings it home for the win on the fuel mileage strategy. A bad thing that happened to him turns out to be the thing that probably saved him, man. But at the end of the day, beats everybody else on fuel mile, had one more lap to the good than everybody expected. The proof's in the pudding for this team, man. Like I said, the dude is red hot right now. Coming home second in that first Pocono race, point paying race, turns right around, wins it on Sunday in the second race. Man, I tell you what, overcame a lot, had transmission issues, man. They were trying to rig it up and get it fixed. You know, had some stuff going on in the car. Had to almost win a lap down, barely beat the pace car off a pit road to stay on the lead lap, which that would have ended his day had he went a lap down in that situation. But I tell you what, to come right back up through the field, man, lay him down the way he did, get down to it, catch everybody, and then not have to come in on that last lap to get the gas. Great move, worked out in his favor, man. As I always say, not a huge Kyle Busch fan. You guys know it, but I've never, you know, put down the man's talent. I think, like I said, he's one of the most talented guys out there on the racetrack. No surprise to me that he brings it home and gets the win, man. Denny Hamlin and William Byron both right there running with Kyle Busch. I tell you, they had to stop right there, one before the other, to get the fuel mileage, to get the gas to at least finish the race. Man, it was coming down to the nitty-gritty there for a while, which I wasn't going to be mad at either one. I had Byron and I had the Candy Man in our game of skill up here at Coaches. So at the end of the day, Kyle Busch did some good things for my pockets, but I would have been happier with William Byron, if you want my honest opinion. It just didn't work out that way. Anyways, so we get back to it, man, and here's my question for everybody out there, man. Is Kyle Busch waking up? Because we looked at it last year, 1 win all season, struggled, didn't have that many top 10 runs, and it seems like now that we're getting into times of year where sometimes he has tended to struggle over his career, he's just heating up. I see a lot more wins coming for this team this year. I say if I'm going to put a limit on how many wins this guy could win, or I say by the end of the season, I'm going to say probably right around 5. We're already at 2. He's got to go get 3 more. I'll say average right around about 5 wins probably coming out of this season right here for Kyle Busch, man. Would love to hear what you guys had to say, but that's where I'm at. I tell you what, man, Kyle Larson started in the backup car here Sunday for that second race there at Pocono. Obviously damaged the first Saturday race car too much. Had to start from tail end to the field almost to drive it back up through there. Very slow, methodical day. Didn't hear much from him throughout that whole race. But when it came down to taking the checkered flag, man, he found himself right there with enough fuel and in position to bring it home second, man. So big kudos to him for a good rebound. Not that finishing 9th. In that first race is a big, huge rebound to finish second, but at the end of the day, you know, good way to rebound emotionally and show, hey, you're no joke, you're still on fire, you're still the man to be beaten right now in the sport. So, you know, we just got to keep an eye out and see if they can keep that momentum running, man, and see what's going on. Also had some smaller guys, man, there at Pocono, some, you know, just starting out teams and some smaller teams, man, had some really good runs there. I mean, Bubba Wallace there Sunday brings it home in 5th. You had Ryan Preece, man, I tell you what, brought it home in 8th. Come on, man, those are both great runs for that team. Matter of fact, that was Bubba's best finish of the whole season. You know, could he be heating up a little bit and finally kind of fitting into his own over there with Mike Wheeler as a crew chief for 2311, man? It's just something that we got to keep eyes on, because at the end of the day, you know, I think that he's got enough talent. He's in good equipment. I don't care what anybody says. It might be an organization that's brand new to the sport, but both, I'm sure Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin both aren't going to put anything in not to be able to do it, man. So at the end of the day, got to see if he can get some consistency rolling, get some top 10s, top 12s, week in, week out, top 5s if he can make it there. But we're just going to have to see, man. But those are great runs by both those teams. You also had Bubba and Daniel Suarez both having good runs Saturday there, finishing inside the top 15 again. I tell you what, man, as I've said, I am amazed with what Trackhouse and Daniel Suarez has put together for this season over there. Like I said, definitely going to be interesting now with them taking over Ganassi to see what it propels or what it does to this team, see if they can go even higher, set the bar higher, achieve more. But what really good runs for that guy, man. I don't think it happens to a much nicer person, man. But at the end of the day, that's great, man. So, like I said, this is usually where we're going to go ahead and throw it in, man, the checkered flag for charity, brother. This is my favorite part of the whole show, as I always say. Man, I tell you what, this is what we always do. What's up, man? This is what... No, I got you, man. This is what we always do up here, man. That's what it's all about. That's the main thing. So Rubbin' and Grubbin' as a show, our portion of the charity raising that we do up here at Coach's Corner is going to be checkered flag for charity. So what we do every week is we take our square bucket, man, whatever car finishes first in that race, whatever that car number is, we go ahead and we buy, we throw that money in. That's donated to help save one of our own. That's the charity we chose this year. So as I said earlier, you had Alex Bowman in the 48. So that's going to be $48, man, right there, getting thrown in by the Rubbin' and Grubbin' crew. And then to turn right around and run it again Sunday and have the 18, you got $18 as well. Comes out to $66, man. I tell you what, like I say all the time and every time, John and Adele Henderson do some really good things for a lot of folks up there, along with the staff and other people that are behind the scenes here at Coach's Corner, man. I tell you guys all the time, it doesn't matter, nickels, penny, dimes, 10, 20s, 150s, whatever you got to donate anytime you're at Coach's, whether you're eating, you're having some drinks with some buddies, whatever it may be, man, get your server, your bartender, find John and Adele, say, hey, man, I just want to throw a $5, a dollar, 50-cent donation, round your total up to the nearest dollar. Doesn't matter, man. It all goes to help save one of our own, local organization here based out of Savannah that help families that are local as well. So all the money and everything we do and the charitable stuff we do, it all stays local right here to help people. You saw it with Randy Davis and that family, and you also see it with the Spears family with Becca. So I tell you what, man, doing great things as always. Whatever you guys got to give, please give. I tell you what, right here, my note says $3,253 right here raised by the Rubbin' and Grubbin' crew, man, for Checkered Flag for charity and for Help Save One of Our Own. Like I say, that's not possible without you guys out there, man. I highly, highly recommend, and please, if you got it, donate some money, help it out, get a good cause, get a good feel, man, and help save one of our own. That's what it's all about, fellas. Anyways, I tell you what, man, like I said, Checkered Flag for charity, favorite part here at Coach's. That's what my favorite thing to do is. That's why I'm here, man. Not only do I get to talk NASCAR, I get to help raise some money for a great cause that all stays local, man. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So getting right into it, point standings right of now, regular season, you got Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch sliding in there, man. So a couple little changes from what we saw last week, past couple weeks. Obviously, with that doubleheader weekend, you have two opportunities to get things shaken up and things to change, man. Playoff picture, obviously 5-car, Mr. Kyle Larson still sitting on King of the Mountain right now. Truex, somehow, I don't know how, is still sitting in second. I mean, he's had a couple good runs, finished good there Sunday. Anyways, something's going on. Denny Hamlin's in third, which I don't get ahead of a guy that's also got a couple wins in Kyle Busch. And then you got Alex Bowman right there in fifth, man. Bubble watch, as I told you earlier, the bubble watch is on, man. You got Austin Dillon still sitting right on the bubble. Kurt Busch had jumped his way into this list. I think he's in 14th, I'm pretty sure, if you go and look. A couple others fall out. Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Bubba Wallace, all right there within striking distance. I think the furthest one out is like 59 points or something like that out of those four guys. I tell you what, if Austin Dillon or a guy ahead of him has one really bad DNF, say wrecks out early in a race and then turns around and finishes it, follows it up with a 25, and one of these guys go out and have two good solid runs, this bubble is going to tighten up, man. It is one of my favorite things to watch as we get down to the cutoff for the playoffs, so got to keep an eye on it, man. All right, bringing us right into who's hot, who's not. My favorite segment of the show, other than checkered flag for charity. We go over who is, heating up in the sport, who to keep an eye on, who's kind of getting lukewarm, man, and who's just not right now. And it'll surprise you on who I got on my who's not. Anyways, it's going to be quite entertaining right here. So, Kyle Larson still paying the cost to be the boss, man, as I tell you guys. Until somebody goes out and shows me that they can run with this man at 1.5 miles or somewhere and dominate a race and him come home second and him say, I gave it everything I had, the car was really great, I don't know where they found this from. Till somebody goes out and shows me they can dominate and beat him in a race, I'm going to be taking him as the hottest driver every single week, man. I mean, what he's done over this last few, hasn't finished second outside of the, other than that Saturday race, hasn't finished outside first or second place since May. That'll tell you something right there. I'm pretty sure he's got I don't know how many second place finishes. Obviously, Atlanta, the guy could easily have 6 or 7 wins right now. So, till somebody goes out and beat him, let me know. Still the dude to beat on the track, man. Alex the Showman Bowman, man, made the jump onto the list. That's his 3rd win of the season. Quietly doing good. Has some inconsistency issues here and there, a few weeks in and out. But at the end of the day, everybody's going to have bad runs. Put himself in position to have 3 wins, 5th in those playoff standings, man. I tell you what. Don't count this guy out when we get down to the nitty-gritty, and say the Elite 8, that final 8 drivers, or even the final 4, man. Like I said, don't put it past it to end with a Hendrick final 4 all the way around, man. I'm not betting the house on it, but if it happens, just remember you heard it here first. That was my thoughts first, man. Sean Err's favorite driver, the Candy Man. Sean loves him because he is just so sweet. But I tell you what, the Candy Man, Kyle Busch, makes the hot list, man. As I say, never a question of this man's talent, just not my cup of tea when it comes to a driver. The guy has been on fire as of late. Top 10 finishes, 2nd place finishes, turned around and got the win on Sunday, man. So this is actually who I had 2nd on my list this week, and he's going to remain there, even though I did just take the 5 and the 9 in our game of skill up here. It's a road course, we'll have to see what he does, but I got a feeling this guy's going to have a really good run as well. Like I said, I think he's finally feeling at home with Ben Bashore. They're kind of getting some communication things down, and what a morale builder and what it shows that this team can do with, not only the expectations that you have coming out of the driver's seat, because this guy, I can guarantee you, wants the best all the time, and if you can't deliver it, then he's going to be upset. But not only that, but overcoming the issues that they have as a team in whole, coming together, making a plan, executing on pit road, keeping them on the lead lap, and then to come back and turn around and win that race, man. And the commercial for Atlanta is on, and I'm telling you right now, I am bummed because Atlanta man is not going to be there this year, unfortunately, for this race right here. The July race, I will not be there. I'm always there. I was there in the spring. Just checking the screen to make sure Atlanta Man wasn't on TV again, because if you guys watch, it kind of bleeped out last week. Atlanta Man is in the NBCSN commercial they play every single week for the race coming up. If you watch it right at the very end, you're going to catch a glimpse of the guy in a black Chase Elliott championship shirt, checkered flag on his back, white Hooters hat. That is no other than Atlanta man, Brandon Bain. I love that NASCAR done it. I've been in, I don't know how many few things that I've been in they've done. It always seems to catch myself in a clip, man, at least 4 or 5 over the years, since 15, say. Man, I tell you what, I have not a better time in my whole life than on Sundays, because the Atlanta man only comes out on Sundays. On Sundays, getting on top of that motorhome, man, having quite a few adult beverages, and I'm telling you, giving it hell. That's what I do. I give it hell, not only pulling for my man Chase Elliott, but we also have a few games of skill going on around there too. I'm pulling for whatever car numbers I got that are going to help me bring home the dough, man. That's what it's about. And it's kind of a staple deal down there in turn 2, man. If you see that checkered flag, that's Atlanta, man. That is an official Atlanta Motor Speedway checkered flag from 1996, by the way. 95, maybe. 5 or 6, but it's one of those years. But not going to be making it. Just want to throw that out there, man. So now, my question right here coming in before we get into who's not is going to be, can you consider the Candyman, Kyle Busch, a contender for this year's championship as of right now? Seems to me, as I've talked about it on here a couple times, I've talked about it also on Green White Checkered a few times. If there's anybody out there, when you ask me, that could go out and contend with Kyle Larson or the Hendrick cars, the first name that always comes to my mind was going to be Kyle Busch. If it wasn't Kyle Busch, it would be one of the Penske drivers, but Kyle Busch, always, man. This guy's got an uber amount of talent. He's showing it right now, so I'd love to hear your opinion. Can he go out and contend with Kyle Larson or Hendrick as of right now? Love to hear it. I think he can. I think it's very doable. I think if he obviously won this past weekend, he can come out and win again this weekend. You get this guy a couple wins under his belt and get this guy steamrolling and warm him up. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be curtains lights out on a lot of folks, man, because he is more than capable of running off 5, 6, 7 wins in 10, 12 races. So we'll just have to keep an eye out and see, man. Now it's for the who's not, and I've been dreading this moment right here all night long on this show. I wrote it down today. It almost brought me to tears while I sat on my couch and I was writing down some notes that I throw in here to take a glance over to get me to my talking points, man. It almost brought me to tears. It really did. I had to like contemplate my life for like 30 minutes before I went to work this morning because I just cannot believe I actually put this on the list. But who's not right now, man? Truth be told, it's Chase Elliott right now. And it hurts me deeply. It hurts my heart to say this, man. But just not being consistent, it seems like it started, he got that win and it seemed like it was rolling in the right way. Not only did you get the stage win taken away from you a couple weeks ago for the tire issue and lug nut violations, man, you got that finish taken away. To turn right around to start way back in the field, finish 12th at Pocono, which is a good day. I'm not taking anything away from them on that. But then to turn around and have trouble Sunday and not really get a great finish out of it, man. We got to get it together. We got to start getting the consistency back together, man. We got to start getting up front and contending for wins. We got to start making it happen, man, because I tell you what, these stage points, and when we get to the playoffs, I need my boy to be hot. By this time last year, he had a couple more wins than what he does this year. Obviously, going into, those later races in the season, he got a couple, at Martinsville, turn around and win at Phoenix as well to win the championship. Just not a good look for the 20 champion, my man, Mr. Chase Elliott. I'm trying to get you to go back-to-back, bud. I want you to win back-to-back championships, man. Do something that a lot of folks don't get to do. You've got the talent. You are more than capable of doing it, man. You just got to get the consistency together. Get Gustafson on the same page, man. You two guys get it figured out, man, and do your thing, brother. We got to get it back rolling. And another guy had some good runs this weekend, Kevin Harvick, and Stewart-Haas as a whole still making that who's not list. Got to figure out what's going on. I don't know. There again, like we always say, if it's Tony and the SRX stuff, or if they're just biding their time, they're one of the teams that didn't put a lot of funding into this season to turn around next year in that new gen car and really go out and show and dominate. So this is something you always got to keep in mind when we talk about this for this season, is next year we get a brand new car. How many teams that are running mediocre or not having the consistency aren't putting the funds in? So there again, like I said, Stewart-Haas might have just not put all their eggs into this basket, and he might have put 80% of them into what they got going on next year. And if that's the case, then all is for none for this season. But I tell you what, man, got a good guy there in Kevin Harvick, Armor Roller. Got some young kids over there. Got to show them and give them some good equipment, man. Otherwise, that morale and the want to goes down really quick. So that wraps up who's hot and who's not. Hope you guys are having a blast tonight. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned in, man, and enjoying the show. The support is always phenomenal for me, man. Brings me right into doing my favorite thing, Mr. Arborman Tree Service, man. As I always say, my good buddy Parker Eccles out there doing his thing, man. He's going to be there in Atlanta Man's spot right there in the same spot. Q24 is what they call it now, and 23 right there in the Flop Brothers Corral, man. If you want to, go swing by, give Parker a shout out, man. Go holler at him. Tell him he might even give you a cold beer if you mention Atlanta Man sent you over there or something, man. More than likely. I promise you probably would. So, but then him and a couple other of my buddies, guys, are going to have some good times over there, man. Good fun. Trying to get him a permanent spot over there as well with Lawrence, our producer, man. But at the end of the day, you best believe Atlanta Man's coming back in March. I will be there for that. I got a family reunion to go to this time. If I can talk the wife into swinging by on Sunday, man, you might. If you see the checkered flag on Sunday, it's Atlanta Man up there in turn 2, and I made it. If I could talk the wife into it, we just got to see how that goes. But I tell you what, man. He does such great things for it. Main sponsor here on Rubbin' and Grubbin', man. Always donates to not only the charity events, all the fundraising things that go on up here at Coach's for whatever the cause may be. Great guy, man. As I say all the time, need an estimate on getting some stuff cut back, some stump removal, man, full tree removal, whatever it may be, man. Make sure you give Parker a call. He'd be more than happy to come out and take a look at it for you. As I always say, no job too big, too small, no tree too tall. Give Parker a call. Hey, I love you, man. Make sure you give it hell up there at Atlanta for me, brother, man. Don't disappoint me now. Don't disappoint me. Love you, bro. So brings us right into what we got going on this week, man. And here's a little hidden gem and another wild card in the works right here. We're coming to Road America Jockey Made in America 250, man. Up there, road course in Wisconsin. NASCAR Cup Series has not raced on it since 1956. There was a race that was actually held there. It was named something different. I don't know if the course was the same or not. I wouldn't even thought of in 1956. But I tell you what, at least we're going back. Now, there are a couple guys that have a little bit of experience there. McDowell, a couple other guys has raced Xfinity cars there. I've seen it a couple times. I think it's a great race. It's going to be very interesting. It's an actual road course, not a roval. So it's going to be interesting to see what can happen and who makes hay and bail. But I tell you what, I got a feeling there's a couple guys on this list that are definitely going to have some good runs, man. So there again, it's almost 4 miles in length. It's only 60 laps, something right around in there, not long at all, man. You got stage 1, 14 laps. Stage 2 will be 15 laps long, and then you turn right around. Stage 3 is going to be 33 laps long. That's probably at least one green flag pit stop right there in that final stage. When to pit, when not to pit, before and after these stage endings dictates a lot of what goes on and where the cautions fall, if there are cautions. So there again, fuel mileage and track position is going to be your biggest key right here on these road courses, man. New tires will probably play a factor for a little while, not as much as they do, but I can tell you right now, fuel mileage and track position is going to be everything. Track position is king, always, man, and that right there, this is going to show you why if somebody messes around and gets put back in the field. But going to be interesting. I'm excited. Like I say all the time, I think NASCAR has put together a pretty interesting schedule for this season. It's going to be even more interesting to see what we do here in the next couple of years if we reschedule anything. As I said, I'm not a huge fan of all these road courses. I think maybe 4 is about max. To me, and I wouldn't mind if those 4 rotate. I mean, I love both the Rovals, the one at Daytona, and I love the Roval in Charlotte. I think they're both unique. I think it adds a different kind of road course racing, if you will, than a traditional road course. Also, like some of these new ones they brought in, you know, the Circuits of the Americas, I think I would love to see that on a sunny day, great weather, not the torrential downpour we saw that in. So we're just going to have to see if they reschedule all of these or if they cut a couple out and schedule something else. But at the end of the day, I think they're doing a great job at least spicing the schedule up, making things a little easier, not only on the teams, but also more entertaining for the fans as we go along. So good job. Big kudos to NASCAR, man. But top 5 for the week, man. And I tell you what, like I said, I took somebody different than what I got written down right here, but I'll go ahead and say my top 5. Number 1 doesn't change. As I said, is Kyle Larson. Road course, it doesn't matter if it's a half mile, 2 mile, mile and a half, quarter mile. I don't care if we're racing RC car, little Hot Wheels cars in the bathtub, man. If I got a chance to take Kyle Larson first, I'm taking Kyle Larson first, man. Kyle Larson stays number 1. Number 2, this is where it changed right here. I have the Candyman, number 2 on my list right here this week. I think, like I said, he's heating up. He's turning in the right direction. He's got some momentum right here coming out of Pocono. Had a good run there at Circuits of the Americas. Tends to run good. Has some road course wins in his career. I don't know, man. We're going to have to see if I made the right call or the wrong call. But I tell you what, at the end of the day, Kyle Busch is who I got on my list right here is number 2. Number 3, the man, the myth, the legend in the future, Chase Elliott, man. Hadn't gone out and dominated these road courses as you would expect that he would. Got the one there at Circuits of the Americas, man, in the rain, shortened race, got him that one. Let's go see if he can go out and do this as well, man. Get another one, show everybody why you're such a road course ace, bro. I would love it because, as you know, I just took you here in my game of skill, and that would just be a double bonus. Not only do you win, but I win, man, and that's what I love about that, man. 4 for me is going to be Martin Truex Jr. there at Sonoma. Really good run. Just didn't quite have enough to get up there and contend, but always runs good at a few road courses as well. You can't go to a road course and not have Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 on your list. So he's number 4. 5 for me. There again, like I said, this guy's red hot. Probably one of the most consistent drivers at Hendrick outside of Kyle Larson, William Byron, man. I think the guy has enough simulation racing. I think that he does all kinds of different, types of races through simulation. does a lot of practicing, and it helps on the execution once you're in the race car of at least knowing the track and at least helping with some braking points and turning points, and maybe even, you know, kind of figuring out a quicker way around it before other people do. So there again, absolutely love the kid, think he's great, and he drives the historic 24, my favorite car number, outside of the 9 now. So I tell you what, man, gonna have to keep an eye out and take a look. Now for a dark horse, man, I tell you, I got 2 guys, and both of them are probably going to have really good runs. One's going to be Ross Chastain. I think that guy is absolutely on fire still. Watermelon man, having a good run. Got a little too aggressive there in that second race at Pocono. Got up into Christopher Bell or Eric Jones or whoever it was. Had some issues there. The aggressiveness he's got to kind of tame up. And get that under control if he wants to be more consistent, because things happen when you become aggressive. So he'll be on there, and also we'll hyphen that and we'll put Michael McDowell on there. I think that he's ran there a few times at Xfinity. I'm pretty sure he's got an Xfinity win there. You got to take him if he's in there, right? At least as a dark horse people might not be thinking of, man. So I think either 2 of those guys got good shots as well. And, man, we're just going to have to find out what goes down. But right now, man, that brings us to the second part of the show, the grubbing part, man. And I tell you what, this is one of my favorite things we got right here out of coaches, man. We're doing a blackened pork chop tonight. I don't even know what the sides are, man, but like I said, this is one of my favorite things. Oh, yes, there it is, man. Look at that. Black-eyed peas, rice, oh, man, toast. Man, this thing looks amazing. Absolutely amazing right here, man. I'm going to tear that up as soon as I get off, man. Like we say all the time, dude, coaches have some great foods. They got a flavor for everybody out there. Doesn't matter if you're wanting a pork chop, if you're wanting a burger, if you're wanting wings, if you're wanting pizza, if you're wanting strombolis, man, if you want a salad. I'm telling you, coaches got it going on, man. Absolutely love everything that comes out of this kitchen, man. Kitchen staff does great. Waitress staff and waiter staff does great. Bartenders do great. John and Adele do great. That's what it's all about, man. Hey. Want to give a big shout out, man, right here to Green White Checkered. PJ Zuko over there at ESPN 104.3, ESPN Coastal, man. Have such a blast every Sunday. So if you guys are still watching, hadn't had a chance to tune into that, make sure you tune in every Sunday morning, 9 to 9:30, Green White Checkered 104.3, ESPN Coastal. There's a lot of stuff that might happen between Wednesday and Sunday, and that they do a great job. We do a great job of getting you up to date right there Sunday morning, hyped up for that race, man, and talk about the news that's either broke earlier in the week, after this show, before this show, or who and our feeling on who's winning and what we got going on in the sport, man. Make sure you tune into that. Hey, man, I tell you what, I got somebody that showed up that I said last week I was going to have to put in on a milk carton if I didn't see him soon. They came out to show support. Big shout out to Travis, man. Thank you, brother. Always appreciated, man. As I say, man, big shout out to John and Dale Henderson and everybody right here at Coaches for everything that they do, not only for us, but everybody else and their shows and the community. Always a good time, always good people, man. Thank y'all so much. As I say, man, make sure you stay tuned. We got the coach, Carl DeMasi, coming up. Kyle Lawson doing a little podcast tonight. Who's on first base, man? Going to keep you up to date on everything happening, not only baseball right here in Savannah with the Bananas and what's going on, but also in those major leagues, man. I tell you what, if you need some advice, you need a piece of information, definitely make sure you tune in for Coach Carl D. The man's going to throw it down. I promise you, a wealth of knowledge right there. There again, Hot Grits, Travis and Spencer, man, I tell you what, those guys are pretty wild. They talk about all kinds of stuff, keeping you up to date on everything sport-wise. We got Travis right here.
He needs you to explain to him what a jug is. He's not shaking his, he doesn't understand.
Doesn't on a milk jug?
He doesn't understand milk jug.
There's Travis, man. As I said, I told him if they didn't show up, I was going to put them on milk jugs, man.
What does that mean? We don't know the milk jug.
You don't know what a milk jug is, man? It's a jug of milk, you know, like a milk carton, man, you know, jug of milk.
Missing children.
Oh, man, Missing Children used to go on the back of them, man.
I know what a jug of milk is. I just didn't get the...
Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a while. You were missing.
Missing children.
Yeah, you were missing, you know, little Missing Children, man. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Use that one.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, as I say, Travis and Spencer, man, always keeping you up to date on everything sport-wise, man. Those dudes do a great show. Absolutely love them. Man, so many Coaches Corner Sport Network shows, man. There's too many to keep up with. 19th hole with the Herb brothers, man. They eventually got to get some stuff going on, too. Got to come back. The Masters is enough if you ever watch them. They got to tone it down a little bit and bring it back. But I tell you what, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As I always say, stay safe out there. Love your Hugwoods. Make sure you tune in on Sunday and check out this race from the Road of Americas, man. And I tell you what, I'm bringing it to an end this week. There's not going to be any more wash your hands, man. No more wash your hands. But you guys stay safe. Love y'all, man. All right.
Says we're back to normal.
That's right.